All right, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliot with Rickety Ski Reviews, and today we're gonna start off with something a little bit lighter. We're gonna watch some goofs, we're gonna watch some gaffes, we're gonna watch the clip from yesterday's H3 podcast where they talk about a skiing incident. So with no further ado, let's hop right into that, and then we're gonna get into a curated review. I just couldn't help myself. There's one, it's a ski that I haven't skied on, but the thumbnail is just like too tempting not to click. Anyway, we'll talk about that first. Let's get into the H3 clip.
All right, here it is. Do people do this where they hold? He's like holding onto a hook.
Oh no.
Yeah. Bails.
Oh, no.
I know exactly where this is going. Everyone's been here who's been on a T-bar or a rope tow especially. Nobody actually does that when they're snowboarding. When they set you up, they're either gonna put the T, it's called the T-bar, they're gonna put it between your leg and kind of pull you forward like this, right? On the inside of your leg. But what happens is, because a T-bar is meant to have two people on it that kind of balance each other out, when you just have one person, it kind of tips, right? It flips and tips like this on either side. So what you're supposed to do, if you're just one person, is put your hand on the other side of the T-bar to balance, but new people don't know how to do that. So what this guy clearly did is it was underneath his leg, pulling him up by the thigh, but it must have fallen out or it must have like kind of swiveled out. So what people will do in desperation is they'll grab the bar like this, thinking they're just gonna hold on. The problem is, as you get towards the peak of a hill, so a lot of people will try to hang on and they almost always lose it as they get towards the tip. It's really obvious if you have a rope tow, which is just kind of a moving rope that you hang on to and it shreds your gloves. But you'll hang on to the rope tow, and then as the rope gets lower, as you're kind of, because the rope is like almost a straight line, whereas the mountain has kind of an arc. As you get up here and it has more tension towards the top and it gets lower on you, people will almost always lose it. So yeah, it's not supposed to be like that. People aren't supposed to hang on like that. It's supposed to go on the inside of their thigh. It's really hard for snowboarders, a lot harder than it is for skiers, because skiers, it kind of goes behind the back of your hamstrings and you can use your inside hand like this. But with snowboarders, your board goes like at a 90 degrees from yourself. So it's really awkward. These old ski lifts aren't really made with snowboarders in mind. They kind of predate snowboarders. They're kind of meant just for skiers. But I mean, if you're good, you can figure out. Obviously, this guy that's about to get hit has figured it out. Where it's supposed to be just underneath your inside leg and pulling you forward. But it's really awkward. Like, it feels awkward to have your leg kind of yanked like this. It's not a good feeling. Everybody knows where this is going, because the track that you're going down the track you're going down is the same track everyone's going up, so it's like set up perfectly, almost like bowling pins. God. Okay.
Oh, they're all going up that way.
Yeah, that's.
You put it between your legs.
And see this guy, he's like, what he's trying to do is he's trying to spread himself out to stop, but he's just making it so he's gonna hit more people. God. Oh God. It's so embarrassing too. And with the T-bar, there's two people, so it's harder for you to, like, in a split-second scenario like that, decide which way you're gonna go. Right? So one person wants to go left, the other person goes right. You almost like run into each other. And you're on that track, and the farther you get away from the line, the more tension there is on it. Yeah.
He's just going down. He could have tucked his feet in on that one. He's taking out what? That's gonna be 10 people.
Yeah, that's so many people. Yeah, that's the problem with T-bars too. And it's like, people don't want to go up. It's like this weird social thing. You see it on trails all the time. People don't want to ride with other people because they just want to be alone. They don't want to be social with people they don't know. But with the T-bar, there's a reason. It's supposed to counteract you. There were two snowboarders. There was a guy behind them too. If they had just ridden together, or one of them had rode switch if they were able to, or kind of do it through the back. I don't know. This could have been avoided. I guess riding with two people with a snowboard is tough unless one is switch and one is goofy. Or one is normal and one is goofy. But yeah, this is brutal, and it happens all the time. Especially with like little kids, because what happens is, like, the T-bar is kind of designed to go below your butt. And with kids, they're so high up that it kind of will hit their back, and it's really hard for them to get in the right position. So this happens all the time. In fact, it happened to me. I was on a rope tow at Cochrane's ski area, and it's like, the rope tow is so hard to grip. You not only have to like hold it like these people are doing, but you also have to like have just hand grip. And for a kid, that's really hard. It used to shred up my mittens. But one time I got to a part where there was too much tension and I just started to slowly slip back, but everyone else is going forward, so they just kind of run into the back of you and then you fall and then you start sliding backwards. It's a huge mess.
Wow.
Now,
Like a video game. Like how many people you can take out.
It looked like.
Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Because they're all lined up perfectly because they all have to go on that track. You see that rope? That's keeping them on the track. So it is like a video game. They're lined up perfectly.
That was his goal. Now, I've been skiing once, but it was a chair. I never seen, this seems pretty sketchy. Like this would happen
Like going up
fairly
on a
often.
chair.
Yeah, it is sketchy. You see it in a lot of areas where maybe there's not as much money because these are a lot cheaper to operate. They're also faster. It's really popular in places where they ski race, where they're trying to get a lot of runs to train. It's really popular in the East Coast where the mountains are smaller and you don't need to go as far up because it's like by the time you load and get off, if it's a smaller area, this can just be kind of more efficient. It's really popular maybe on the East Coast too because of the older ski areas. Like the ones that I used to go on at the Cochrane ski area, it was just like a family of Olympians that had this area and it ran off of like an old tractor engine. I think the overhead on these kind of things is a lot smaller, it costs a lot less money, and then you also, like if you just have a little hill, it kind of is adequate. But yeah, what he's saying is normally chairlifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or one foot fell out and then it was all over. And
his mistake here too is like you gotta give up way earlier than that. If you're not gonna make it, just like let go. Don't try to hang on because when it gives you the hardest tension is when it's the steepest and most dangerous. If this happens to you and the thing gets out from under your leg, just let it go. Let it go. Snowboard down and try it again. It's okay. It's better that than like let it kind of dangle you and you know, make it awkward and then you're gonna fall into the people behind you. Yeah, you gotta just let go of it. You gotta give up a little earlier before you become a hazard.
no, there's no escaping this fate.
Oh, and his other boot is unbuckled, so he can't really snowboard either. Ugh. I've seen some people where they'll actually clip in their boots when they do this because it makes it a little bit safer, but then the trade-off is that it can be a little bit harder to balance that way. Like if you want to match the speed of the T-bar, you can kind of kick when it's flat, but yeah, I mean, these just like, unfortunately they aren't super designed for snowboards and it creates a lot of problems like that. And I have a ski channel, but I snowboarded for 3 years and I would deal with that a lot. I even did it on the Pama, where a Pama is supposed to go in between your legs and just pull you straight forward. It has like a little circle and you'd have to like kind of hold it like this, you know, at a weird angle. So I've been through it. I mean, especially in Vermont, there are even ski areas that are skis only. They like ban snowboarders. I think it's Mad River Glen. Yeah, Mad River Glen, ski it if you can. But I feel this guy's pain because they do not design these things for snowboards. I mean, it sounds like Ethan's only skied once, and I don't know if Ela has, but this is like very accurate commentary for if you've only skied once.
So I've done this.
You have.
Yes. I've fallen and taken people out.
And eventually that guy spinning around, he can't see anything. He is now just a bowling ball effectively. You saw the goggles come off his face. He's just like trying to grab onto whatever he can to make this nightmare stop, but it's not stopping. All right, this happened to Love. Let's see.
In this situation, going up the slope?
Yes, this exact thing happened to me. I didn't take out that many, but took out 2 people. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what, Love, though? I've skied a lot in my life. It's happened to me too. It happens to literally everyone. Because T-bars are so weird. Like you have to match the speed of the T-bar. So if the T-bar even goes slightly down, it'll like kind of get like kind of funky and you'll go past the T-bar and then it gets out of position really easily. It happens a lot for kids on rope tows. These are harder to ride than the chairs, which is kind of counterintuitive because the chairs bring you to the top of like the harder runs. No. The chairs are much easier to load than these. I don't even know if I've seen any new T-bars. They're kind of gone away, probably for this reason because they're dangerous. I see a lot more magic carpets nowadays. So.
How far away apart were they?
Whoa.
Huh?
How far apart were they?
It was right behind me. The people, it was like a slope right next, and I after I took them out, I like started gliding, and then I kind of tried to, and I went down the slope, like down the woods and shit. I had to walk down like a wooden area because I got out of bounds.
Oh, that's so sad. It's like the walk of shame. Oh, that's awful. Love, it literally happens to everybody. God, I hope that isn't why you stopped skiing or snowboarding. It literally happens to everyone. These things are just kind of death traps. And there's like nobody that teaches you. There's just some guy going, get on, hop on there. So.
Yeah.
I feel like that's got to happen fairly regularly. I mean,
Definitely.
like, look at this. This is madness. Dude, people got...
Yeah, it literally does. That's why they don't do it anymore. That's why, like, there's always pushes for high-speed quads. You know, there's, like I said, magic carpets. Totally. And again, this is all message in a bottle stuff, but, like, if you guys stopped skiing and snowboarding because of this, you should not feel bad. It's literally the hardest part of beginner skiing and snowboarding. T-bars and the Palmas and the J-bars. I mean, J-bars is a little bit easier. It's literally a T-bar, but half, right? It looks like a J. But it's still really hard. It's like the hardest part about getting kids to ski is being able to take them up this. And you almost need one-on-one. I actually, you know, I like ski with 3 kids, but one of them is kind of older. And I will sometimes just be like, we're just gonna go on the quad. Because it's easier. It's harder terrain, right? So you have to find kind of the easy cat track areas. But I'll skip this because this is so difficult for kids to understand and to balance. It's harder than the actual skiing, which, you know, is insane.
Look at the wreckage.
Dude,
What do you...
crazy
Yeah, I
carnage.
stand in solidarity with you guys.
For real. That.
Yeah, the wreckage. You know what they call that? They call that a yard sale. Because, like, you know, people always sell their, like, their old ski stuff. That's what it looks like. All of the clothes, all of the gear, it's just out there like it's a yard sale.
Battlefield.
There's this one... This second guy gets absolutely bodied, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and what you're not seeing maybe, or if you're not familiar with it, those snowboards have sharp edges. So not only is like that blunt force of just like taking his knees out, it's also sharp. So you can get lacerations, you can get cut. I have a scar on my shin just from like crashing and having one of my skis flip and hit the shin. It's no joke. I mean, for fans of my show, this stuff is like, I mean, I'm sure you guys all have a story about this. Literally everyone's been through it, but this is something new to react to. This is kind of cool.
Yeah. And that woman did
Lost
not
her
need to
leg.
go down. Like, he could have tucked it in for her. Look at this.
The problem, Ethan, too, is that a lot of people that go on these T-bars are also beginners. An expert might be able to just swerve out of the way, but these are literally, it's a beginner falling and hitting everyone else, and they're also hitting a bunch of beginners. So it's just like, it's like the perfect storm for carnage. And there's a reason that they don't really use them much anymore.
He put it out! He tucked it in and then put it out.
I'm tucking your dick.
What did you do, man? You could have saved that lady.
Oh.
Let's watch it frame by frame here. Okay. Or it's not letting me do that, unfortunately. So if you watch his skis, there's a certain point right here he tucks it in.
Yep, and he kicks his legs out.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Whoa, that one's bad too.
Yeah, I mean, he's not trying. If you saw his goggles popped off, he literally can't see anything now. There's probably snow in his face from sliding. And this dude is just like a feral animal. He's just clambering anything he can.
So people are saying, couldn't you like dig into the snow? What they do?
Yeah, he can't dig into the snow because his boot isn't buckled in. You need like both feet to be able to chop at it. And even then, if your board gets sideways, you can't do it. But just having one foot in, it doesn't give you enough control to be able to lock it in.
Here is they drive a machine up and down to make it like pretty much ice. So if you start gliding, you're fucked.
Yeah.
It's like super slippery.
All right, love, that's not totally accurate. Yeah, they may groom it sometimes because they want it to be flat so like people don't catch edges as they go up it, but they don't like hard pack it, make it super icy all the time, but it's usually like groomed. So when you have those, what he was describing is a snowcat. He has a snowcat going up and down it. The snowcats like make rivets, like it's called corduroy. The reason that it gets so smooth is, think about it, you literally have flat snowboards and flat skis going up this. Every 5 seconds there's a new set of skis going along it. That's what smooths it out and hard packs it. The real reason this guy can't stop is, one, he may just be a beginner, but the other thing too is that he doesn't have both of his boots buckled into the snowboard. So like normally you would lift up your legs and kind of put your toes in to stop yourself, but he can't do that because he only has one boot buckled in. That's part of the problem of getting snowboarders up the T-bar. So this man literally only has control. He's got one foot buckled in that can't really do anything and another foot flailing. So that's the real reason. I mean, it's pretty slick, but I think maybe if you're just a beginner, you don't understand that there are ways to stop on it, but this guy can't because he doesn't have control of his actual snowboard.
Yeah. They should put... Okay, all right, listen, I'm not of this world. Y'all got your own problems.
All right, welcome, Ethan. You've entered my domain. You found yourself in my world. And yeah, you're right. They could put something up. They could put fencing. They could put a bunch of stuff. Typically, these are low budget resorts, or this is a beginner area, so it's not that steep. The thing you could put up there is one, you can like put more towers. If you have more towers along the way, there's less tension as you get to the top, like that guy's seen. You could also have like netting along the side so that if people go, you know, too far towards the trees. But it's just a very like old thing, and you probably could put in safety precautions. Or you could even like make it so parts of it are flat, like so it has flat sections and then goes up. That way, you know, people have time to stop themselves rather than like a consistent slope. There's a lot of things. Did they do that? No.
You know, but there it is. Did you hurt anyone, Love?
I mean, I don't know. I kept
You never
going.
checked back
No,
in?
no, I never.
No, you wouldn't. If you go into the woods out of bounds, you're just like, I'm walking straight to the lodge and I'm not gonna make eye contact with anyone. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure no one got totally hurt. Otherwise you'd see ski patrol or something, but yeah, I don't blame him. If it is so humiliating. When I used to like ski at Burke, a lot of Burke Mountain, they have like the gnarliest trail that goes down the chairlift, at least the old quad where it used to be. So you'd be like, yeah, man, I'm hitting the rocks, I'm hitting the moguls, and all these people on the chairlift are watching you. And I swear to God, anytime there was someone from my school or a girl that I thought was cute, I would instantly crash and, you know, be face first in the snow. It's just this thing where it's so humiliating for people on the chair or on, in this case, the T-bar to see you that, yeah, you don't look back. You just, I gotta get out of here. You tuck your tail between your legs and you keep moving.
Because you were falling.
Yeah, I was going down like a slope and I had to walk for like 20 minutes.
Were you hurt?
No.
No.
Just cold.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes too you don't feel your pain because you're just embarrassed. I don't know. It's weird. Collisions are weird. The snow kind of pads things out and it's a little less brutal.
Skiing or snowboarding?
Skiing, first time ever.
Oh, shit.
And last. That was my first
I had
and
it first and last, too.
Oh, that stinks. That shouldn't stop you from doing it. That's a bummer.
Yeah. It
Mine was
fucking
awful
sucked.
the first time.
Yeah.
You know what probably happened? Everybody has a ski story like this, that they skied and then just quit, like they never did it again. And usually the story goes like this. They go with a group of friends. The group of friends are intermediate or understand skiing a little better. You maybe do a lesson, you maybe practice in the morning, and then your friends will take you to the top and go, yeah, it'll be no problem. Then they take you to the top of like a blue square or something, or like a black diamond, something you're not comfortable with, and they'll say, see ya, good luck. And then you just have to fend for yourself. And it literally, when I used to work at a ski shop, I've heard hundreds of people tell me the same story over and over. And then those people never want to ski again because they had such a traumatic experience with it. They didn't feel like they grew. And it takes a couple days to kind of learn and improve. It's not something that you kind of pick up in a day. So that is such a bummer. And everybody's had that happen. And whoever these friends are that just take you and drop you off, you guys are jerks. Don't do it, because straight up it makes people never want to ski again. It completely ruins the experience for people. I know people who just there's so many people who've only ever skied once because either they had a bad instructor or they just had somebody totally screw them over that way. Yeah, if you're that person, don't do it. Let them learn. You don't get better from just taking things that are too hard. What essentially happens is you go into survival mode. You're not worried about skiing or getting better. You're just trying to kind of claw your way down the mountain. For people who are beginners or intermediate, learn on things. If you're able to do blue square, that's great, maybe once a day or something, but do the green circles, because that's when you get better on some of those less steep. Eventually you kind of have to build up your confidence and move forward. But if you have a skill that you're working on, work on it in an area that you're comfortable. That way you're not just relying on your bad habits to get you down the hill. So that's some free advice.
I think I've told this story, so I'm not going to do a California Pizza Kitchen if you guys know. About my first time skiing.
Tell it. I want to hear it. What's your first time skiing? I watch the show. I watch the show every day. I've never heard the story.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So you guys know the story. You can just play the soundbite, Zach.
Okay. H3. This is an open invitation. If you guys want to go skiing, I will be happy to give you guys all lessons. We can go to Sun Valley, somewhere cool, out in Idaho. This is my open invitation. With peace and love. Yeah, this is if you guys want real ski lessons, we'll go out, we'll do the whole thing. It'll be fun. H3 Productions, if you guys have any interest in going skiing, I will take you, I will teach you. I have connections over at Sun Valley Resort. I'm sure we can figure something out for you guys. Let me know. They have like their own airport or whatever. Fly you guys in. I will be happy to give you guys free ski lessons. At no expense, you don't have to pay me for it or anything. This is an open invitation. I know everyone thinks Idaho's in the middle of nowhere, and it kind of is, but if you guys just want to come one state over, I will happily take you guys skiing, and I promise it'll be fun. And I'm not like a rigorous ski coach. I'm like a hot chocolate and marshmallows kind of guy. So that concludes the H3 clip. It's something different, so, apologies if you're looking for the same kind of videos that I always do, but just want to try something different. Want to try something new. Keep it fresh. Keep you guys on your toes. So if you like this content, please like and subscribe. It helps my channel out a lot. You can also hit the notification bell, and that'll make sure you're kind of spoon-fed my content right as it comes out. But otherwise, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I love making this kind of content. And yeah, as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.